Hello and welcome back to Maroonford TCG. My name is Joe. Drink of the day is Celsius Sparkling Mango Lemonade flavour energy drink. New one on the shelf. The packaging caught my eye. And today I wanted to turn my brain off and play a little bit of Goldie Roger. This guy hasn't really changed. I think the only card from the new set that you might look to include is this Law. I tried him for a couple games. It wasn't really doing anything that either Rayleigh or Shanks wasn't already doing. And Rayleigh has so much more utility. It's good on certain curves on certain turns, just when you're ramping up. And when you're going for game, it can rest a guy, which is pretty cool. And then Shanks is just, it is, I think, still the best boss monster. Going to 9k is great, but I don't think it's good enough anymore. And the reason for that is Mihawk. Green Mihawk is such a tough matchup. Because they get that extra 1000 power, like sure we're swinging at 6, but we lose half the advantage of having to put that dot on there, right? It's never an advantage, but you do at least get to demand a bunch of 2Ks out of your opponent, which swinging for 2Ks into Mihawk is always pretty good. Because he's 6k, we're only swinging for 1Ks, which is significantly worse. Also, if he gets odds, his curve is just so much better. He drops his Shanks before we've dropped anything bigger than a Gaban. And like Gaban's fine, but it gets rested by Shanks even. So they can potentially just swing 9 into it and say, okay, do you want to give me 2 cards on this turn? Or do you want to lose your Gaban, which is not the most helpful. And then if they follow it up with this 9-cost Mihawk, this guy's brutal, man. This guy is brutal. If you play a Roger, you play a Rayleigh, even this Newgate, every turn they just don't get to swing, and this swings for 10k. It's so good. And then they go into Law Beppo. Then they're an 8k leader. And their leader buffer is just so much better than us, right? Because our Roger buffs us to 9, which is brilliant. But theirs buffs them by the 2k and freezes a guy. And then they get 3 Don back from their leader effect, which is just so obnoxious. And they have an easier time finding this. Because they have more draw. And potentially more search if they're on the Supernova build. Than we do for any of our top end. So I think Roger still has some consistency issues. I think the Boa matchup is quite close. I think Boa is very winnable. If you are able to sort of either slow them down or if they don't get triggers in the early game, either from you not attacking or if you do attack once or twice, just getting maybe a little lucky. That's sometimes how you have to play into Boa, right? You can win because once you go to 9k, it's very hard for them to interact because, you know, their shit swings for like 5 or 6, which is pretty good. I think you do need to get to your end game with either 3 life if there is a Boa blocker on the board, or 2 life if there is not a Boa blocker on the board. Because they will play one, they'll have time to play 1 9-cost Boa easily. And then if they can block and burn you down to 0, that's when it becomes, okay, I lose to Pudding Femur, cool. They don't even need Femur because we don't play blockers other than Uta, but Uta can come up here and there. But anyway, yeah, I think the Boa matchup is close, very winnable for both players. Mihawk feels very difficult. The other decks, we kind of know how they play. Emu and Ace, you know. Emu slightly favoured, Ace, I think slightly unfavoured. Not a lot in it. If you see your curve, Roger's really good, but he is a little bit inconsistent still. Nice that we finally got the promo, and this is the build that I've been working with at the minute. I'm really high on the Divine Departure, both for the bricking issue and for the main effect. The main effect gives you a shot into Mihawk if you are able to win dice and either be aggressive enough to just sort of kill them if they draw a number of bricks, as Mihawk often does, or you can play Mr. Divine Departure Man and just remove all their tap shit. That can work out pretty nicely sometimes. But yeah, I don't think much change in this list. It's Roger. He's getting no more support. None of the new cards really help him, other than, like I say, maybe that Law, but I don't think it's that great. If you do enjoy this video, leave a like for Goldie Roger. And I've got some games into the new leaders. Please note the Mihawk game is unranked because I just wasn't matching any in ranked. But he played pretty well, I think. And it sort of showcased how I've found the matchup to be going when your opponent plays correctly. So I hope you will watch that one, even though it was unranked. Either way, thank you for listening to me talk about the deck. Here's some games. Got a game into Yellow Luffy, no less. I think I'm going to be yoinking second. Buggy into Gaban into Roger, I think is good enough. Yeah. Obviously, I prefer Bullet to Buggy, but Buggy is fine. Divine Departure, always nice to have one, and can come up later. If, for example, he plays a Bonnie or a Kid and we need to clear it. Okay, so he's got the stupid event, the Flaming Dragon King. I'm not giving up my Buggy, because that is my only ramp for next turn. I also think I'm going to... I think I don't attack here, because he's going to want to play something next. You know what I mean? If I attack here, we give him the Flaming Dragon King. So he gets to reorder everything. And if he wants to play a 4-cost next turn... But if he plays a 3-cost next turn, like a Lilith, or just swings 8 and leaves 2 up again, we've got nowhere. I think I'm actually going to pass. Because if he wants to play a 4-cost, then he loses the Flaming Dragon King. 6. Yeah, I'll counter that one. I don't want to go down to 2 for Kiku early. Cool. That's absolutely fine. Now we'll attack. We're going to risk random triggers. I don't care. Okay, so it is a full Thriller Bark build. Very good. Play this. Ooh, tough choice there. These Rogers are very, very good. Rayleigh is also nice. Potentially, if we want to just focus on board for a turn. I like my 1Ks as well. Because you never know with this deck when you're going to start bricking up randomly. We do have a 0-cost, though. I think I also missed it, too. In game 1. Oh, no. Buggy can't attack, right? Okay, the Robin, sure. 65. I'm going to take... so that we can't get Robined again. We'll counter this one with the Mr. 2. Okay, another Gaban, not really what I wanted, but that's okay. So next turn, he can just Kid. I think we want to push the aggression. I'm going to ignore this Perona. Because it's at 5k and we're at 7 now, so it's kind of irrelevant. He can also just Moria, but that's also fine. Yeah, let's go 7, 8, and then we'll play out Rayleigh. Jinbei, I don't care about that. Perona, plays a Perona, sure. Again, I'm really not that worried. Can't rest anything, sure. What triggers coming out this time? Nothing. Cool. We got 1 up for Rad Beam, I guess. I don't know how useful it's going to be, particularly on this turn, because his entire board is 5Ks, except for this. We'll counter this with Gaban. Is this Kid? Nope, we're just going all 7s. Fair enough. Well, if we do go all 7s, we're going to be taking a hit. So let's just take this next one. If I go to 9k and leave a Don open for Rad Beam... that takes me to 13. This takes me to 16. He cannot kill us. So we can actually take again. We can take all the way down to 0. Yeah, we'll counter with Bugger. Nugay is slightly better. Because then this can drive by... what's it next turn? A Robin blocker, potentially. Or a Sindri blocker. Start with 7. Yeah, we're good on a 16. We're good on a 16. This takes us to 13. This takes us to 16. Usopp takes us to 18. And we're also good on a 17 if he gets like 1 Usopp trigger. Verona, sure. Sure. Your turn. I don't believe he has any way to rest our Don. Not in yellow. There's no DMG in this deck. If he splits, it's even worse. Because you can only split 3 ways, right? Yeah, you can literally split 3 9s. That's not going to work, my friend. 13, 16, 18, GG's. Thriller Bark is not the way to play this deck. All you're doing is playing 5k bodies. It's so bad. Play the real way. Play the real deck. With, like, Bonnies. I guess he's got Bonnies and kids, but, like, focus in on that more, I think, is the better way to play this deck, in my opinion. I know people have success with this deck, with the Thriller Bark stuff. I just think it's really bad. I just do not like it. I really don't. I think he should have probably countered a little bit early. Try and lengthen the game. That way he could have played this Moria and start getting value from that. Because the 10k stat line on the Moria is really good. It's just all the shit that it plays is really, really mid. Especially into Roger, though, right? To be fair, this is probably one of this build's harder matchups. Just because the fact that we were able to go to 19, sorry, to 9, and then defender 16, it's like, it's not even that, we didn't even have that much counter. I had a rad beam of 0 cost and a 2k. So, I don't know, it is what it is. Don't mean to rag on this guy, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but yeah, I'm not a Thriller Bark enjoyer. But well played to our opponent, let's move on. Good game into Boa, we are going second. We have Bullet into some pretty good top end. We do have a second ramp option. It's not a great one, but Buggy is here. I think I'll keep because we've got double ramp into top end. This is very playable. Oh, he's on Lily. That's something you don't see very often anymore. Grabs a Ran. Good card. Oh, we've got a second Bullet. I mean, that's better than... Yeah, that's better than anything else too crazy. I'm hoping he plays like a Grandma and doesn't go 5-5. I don't want to see 5-5. I think you'd be better off going 5-5 here than just 8, but we will take the 8. That's absolutely fine. I'm not going to attack. Yeah, I'm not... He didn't set up a trigger. It's very, very tempting to attack. But I think it's too rash. Just pass once we get to our top end, once we're a 7k leader, or ideally, even bigger, it's going to be easier for us, right? It's going to be easier. Do I want to counter this 7? Is a big question, because I want to get to my end game with 3 lives left. So if I take this, and he puddings next turn, that's going to be troubling. If I take this, it also opens up Rayleigh as an option. I'm not that worried about Rayleigh, but it is quite tempting to counter here. I would kind of like to play this Shanks, though, to find a Roger. So I think I'm going to take again. And then we'll get the pass. Attacking this turn is quite tempting because we have 2 swings. Attacking this turn is quite tempting because we have 2. And next turn we're going into 7k leader. Another bullet. Oh, we could just play 2 bullets. Playing 2 bullets, we don't go to 10, but we go to 9, and we have a really wide board. And a wide board is generally quite good into Boa. I think that's actually quite compelling. And if we create a fairly wide board this turn, it's going to be harder for him to just swing leader as well. So I'm going to swing. We'll see if he gets a trigger. No trigger. Okay. Let's swing again. I imagine he'll counter this one. No trigger again. We're very, very lucky. Okay, we've got very lucky here. But I was willing to accept a trigger, given that I think he somewhat has to deal with this bullet. Now we can see 6-6 or we can see 5-7. Looks like we're going to see 5-7, and looks like he is just going to attack our face. Now, because he doesn't have a blocker down, I'm happy going to 2. Because he can 9-boa next turn, but then that's his whole turn, right? He can put the Don here. But because he doesn't have a blocker down, it's going to be hard to for him to force us to 0. Especially because we have 3 bullets already. So I'm going to take to 2. Roger is very good. But I don't think we need it next turn. Because next turn, if he 9-boas, all he can swing with is this Kuma. It's 1 swing of 7, so we don't need it. So I think this is a really good turn to Rayleigh, actually. Let's just start with a bunch of 6s. See what happens. It's got to counter some of these, you would think. Let's go with another 6. What did he toss off the Kuma? It was that 5-cost bar. 5-cost bar is really weird. Do I want to play this to try... Is there anything I'm looking for? Not really. I think I'd rather swing 7 with the bullet. Okay, Grandma, that's fine. Not that worried about that one. Then we go 8. Another Ran, that's fine. Okay, he can swing once more with leader. If he wants to. What if he doesn't? If he doesn't 9-boa, honestly, we just kill him. We might even kill him anyway, because it's going to probably get him down to 0. Which is really good. Or we get 3 cards here. Where we get 3 cards, or we push him to 0. Either of which is really good. And if he does 9-boa, he also doesn't have any Don for events, so he probably can't 9-boa. Thinking about it. And he does take. Well, gain 1 active Don. So I think maybe he has to Kuma here. And leave some Dons open. I wonder if he'll try and deal with these bullets. Because we're now in the position where with these bullets, we just have pretty much guaranteed lethal. Next turn. Assuming his hand isn't like a crazy amount of slave arrows or something. Which is possible. He does have a lot of counter. But he still needs to Kuma, so he's going to have 7 in hand. Or 9-boa, but then there's no event, so it's less scary. We'll see. And these can go anywhere. These Dons from Rans. So you could swing like 6 to bullet, 6 to bullet, 7 to bullet, something like that. But that's fairly reasonable. We can counter those. We can also ignore them, let them through, and just go big leader next turn. Or Shanks. We do have options. Depending on how he approaches this turn. He was a little unlucky to get 2 non-triggers for his first 2 lives, but he didn't stack anything. Okay, that's pretty good. But it's not a heal, and we can rest this with Rayleigh. That is pretty good, though. Let's see how many Dons he leaves open for events. Bottoms. Okay, didn't like those cards. Doesn't have a lot of versatility in his Don management. Okay, a second one's pretty annoying. So we don't have Red Roger. If we had Red Roger, this would be very good. He only has 1 Don active now, though. For an event. Interesting. 6 to 6. This is 8. That's going to go through. No matter where that goes. So I think we defend this one. I'll defend this one as well. This 8's going to go through. And then this Ran, I presume, is not attacking. I believe he's done both of these. Yeah, he's done both of these Rans. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's done both of these Rans. We can defend this. If we defend this, we have to Rayleigh. It only adds a 6k swing because we currently have 7, 7, 7, 9. 9 with 2 Rayleighs. If we assume one of these is You'll Frighten Me, one of the Rayleighs gets blocked, one of them gets You'll Frighten Me. So he has to counter 7, 7, 7 with 6 cards. It has to be 2k, 1k, 2k, 1k, 2k, 1k. So a single brick means he loses. In that case, unless he has a 0 cost. If it's Slave Arrow, it still just counts as the Rayleigh. But if we keep this and it's another 2k, he blocks one Rayleigh. Say you'll frighten me's the other. That's his 2. That's his dot. That's this card and the 1 remaining blocker. 2k 1k on the 7. 2k 1k on the 7. 2k 1k on the 7. He can't. He dies, unless he attaches this to the Ran and swings. So I think this is guaranteed. Put a Don here. Rayleigh rest this. We start with 1 Rayleigh. Because if he has You'll Frighten Me, we need to at least get... It kind of doesn't matter because there's no lives. He blocks. Okay, well he doesn't have the You'll Frighten Me, I guess. I'm going 9 again next, in case this is still You'll Frighten Me, but I'm guessing at this point it's Slave Arrow, which just counts as the 9. And then we have 7, 7, 7, 6, which is a math win. Yeah, GG's. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's not even close. He had so many bricks. I was assuming he was going to have at least 1 9 cost. He did have the You'll Frighten Me. That would have definitely been a better one to use than the Slave Arrow. In my opinion. He could have... Yeah, he could have just stopped the second Rayleigh from attacking. Rather than using the Slave to fully counter it. I guess it didn't matter, right? Yeah, I guess it didn't matter. 6 of 1. He did have the femur if we'd gone down to 0. Just able to play patiently on those first couple of turns. Did get a little bit lucky on the turn where the bullet... Where we played the second and third bullets. He didn't get any triggers, but he hadn't set them up. Sometimes Boa won't hit the triggers, and sometimes you got to take a little bit of a risk. If we drag the game out too long, he starts hitting for big numbers. And then even if we do become 10k, if we don't present enough of a threat early, he has the time to go 9 cost Boa, 9 cost Boa, and then we can still die. So I don't know. I think that play was fine. If he'd got like 1 trigger body, we would have still been a-okay. We'd have had like maybe 1 less life. But he could never lethal us because of the amount of counters we had in hand. Unless he gambers on a pudding, which, you know. It is what it is. Either way, well played to our opponent. Let's move on. Got him to Doflamingo. I know they typically like first. I typically like second, but I think I might take first into him. No ramp on 2. We do have a search though. And with the follow-up ramp in the bullet, I think I'm going to keep. Risky keep. Okay, we get the buggy. That's nice. Push this guy to the top. Pass. It doesn't really matter what I push to the top. It really doesn't. But yeah, this way if he plays like Sugar, we have something nice to battle into the Sugar, which is good. Searcher event. Grabs Virgo. We're just going to go 6 and buggy. Nothing funky. He can divert into Dellinger. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We do actually have a triple ramp, which might be necessary depending on what we draw. Rosanante, sure. Ramp up with buggy. Next time we're going to be on 6. We can bullet plus buggy. That'll take us to 8, and then we'll just draw to 10. We'll take this first hit. Another buggy, not really what I was looking for. We have a scrap event as well. I think we do have to just go with the triple ramp. This is actually live already, which is kind of annoying. You know? It's kind of annoying. I think we do have to go with the triple ramp, because if we don't find exactly Rayleigh off this Shanks... Yeah. What do I rather have in my hand, the 2k or the 3k? It goes with the Dellinger. Just finds a treble. Sure. Camera unrested. I think I'd like to have the scrap event. So we've got a triple ramp. We're going to be on 10 next turn. We can't play this Shanks, though. So we really need this 1-drop Shanks or the life to be something good. Don't really mind what it is too much, but it needs to be something good. I'm very surprised he didn't divert into the Sugar there. Actually, to get the on KO. That was quite surprising to me. I wonder if he just didn't realise that because we're a ramp deck, he can punish that quite heavily. Yeah, we'll be taking that. That's fine. Roger is another thing we cannot play this turn. Okay, we really need the Shanks to find me something good. Okay, Rayleigh, you will absolutely do. Rayleigh will do. Do we want to attack this? Not really. Not really. Let's go 6 here. See what he does with that. We know he has the treble. Can counter, can take many choices. Does counter with the treble, sure. Deploy this. Over this. We don't want to rest. Don't want to attack the Virgo. Don't attack the sugar. Just get rid of it. I don't really want to attack sugar. I feel like I'm going to be attacking the sugar regardless. If I rest the sugar, we can clear it with the buggy, which stops him diverting one of these into it, which is kind of nice. It's probably the better line. It's probably the better line. He can play like the Rosie, I guess, but he can divert into it anyway. Another Virgo, sure. I mean, that's a pretty good play too. And now we'll deal 2 damage, I expect. He can Dom -1 and give like a 2k or whatever, but... yeah. Gain 1 active Don. Incredible. Now, we've got a couple counters if he does start swinging with these Virgos. Who's coming out? Rosie? Just another sugar, fair enough. Seems good to me. Now, these Virgos are going to be a little bit annoying. They can start making our Rayleigh very, very weak, which is not ideal. I think next time we definitely want to play the Shanks. Get that down. 7 to 7, absolutely not. Although if he does then go 7 to 5, he does just remove it, so it is what it is. Maybe I shouldn't have tapped it. Maybe I should have just not tapped the Rayleigh. He's minusing a lot of Don, but yeah, that will go through, unfortunately. I'll defend this. We need characters into Doffy. I don't want to attack leader, but he can always make me attack leader anyway, so it's kind of awkward, you know? I imagine he diverts this one into the sugar. Can also divert it to leader. Maybe this matchup just stinks because of the amount of these Virgos being able to reduce my guys to manageable levels. It's pretty annoying. There's Rosie. Does he have an event to trash? No. Okay, at least there's that. Let's see if 6 or 7 will go through on one of these Virgos. Because this deck does sometimes play a decent number of bricks. Where's a 2k? You got another one? No. Okay, at least we cleared one Virgo, and I suspect he doesn't have any much more counter in his hand. Which is nice. Could be event-based counter, like Slow Beam Sword, of course. But not a lot we can do about that one. I think our bullet is not long for this world. But yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Our leader is fairly large. This is swinging at 6. Okay, Divine Departure, sure. That's not... I don't love that. That's really not good. Yeah, you'll get it. That's... yeah, it's a really good draw there for him. Removing the Shanks is so powerful. Yep, you'll get that. I don't even have a 1k, so I can't defend like the 7 that's coming from lead. I think we might be cooked. I think we might be cooked already. It's pretty unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, that actually gives us defense with these events. Yeah, the double Virgo into the Divine Departure. All the power down in the world. That was brutal. That was brutal. It's like if I swing this into the Virgo, he can just divert it into leader, right? He doesn't have to care. He doesn't have to care. We really needed to keep something on the board. And it has just not happened, unfortunately. This can be slow beam sword as well. And I guess I'll go here. But he can just divert into leader, right? What is my win con? I think we have to continue trying to play board at least. Something's got to stick. We've got to stick a guy. I need to stick a guy. Please let one of my guys live. No more Divine Departures. It's got the counter in. At least we got to the Rosie. It's something. Another sugar. Doffy into sugar. Seems good. Not going to have too many swings here though, which is quite nice. If he wants to leave Don open, he can only really swing with this. He does not want to leave Don open. Interesting. We're going with 8 cost Roger next turn. I've got 2 events. Good band top deck there is really, really good. There's no point swinging into this Doflamingo. We just go lead. 9 lead, 12 lead. He can divert into sugar if he would like. Or he can go down to 0. I imagine he'll divert into the sugar, yeah. Who's coming out? Monet, sure, not too impactful. Then we will pass. And if he piles on 18, I believe we're good for that between the 2 events, the 2k and the 1k. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're good for 18, just. He can try and play board if he has another Divine Departure. That's really something I'm not... Okay, nice swing. He's wasted his 8. F indeed. And if he said he wanted to swing 9, I'd say, okay, I'll just ignore one of the 1Ks in my hand. Whatever. Lol to you too, my friend. Another Doffy. Okay, 8 cost Doffy the third. What a time to be alive. So I guess that means he's just not swinging at all or swinging once with this. This can swing max 10, which is not incredible. Does he have a slow beam sword in his hand? Or are you just pleased to see me? No, he does not have a slow beam sword in his hand. Let's give him a 2k here. Okay, well, we don't have enough counter to go again. We only have 4, 7, 8k. So even if I Roger, we just die to 18. Big swing, so we have to go for it here. He can get a draw 2 trash one from the Monet, so we want to start a little bit smaller. Let's go 10 with Roger. I don't really know what his plan was there. If he was going to go all in, though, we were good for the all in. I'm guessing no Baby 5 because he didn't play one, right? Baby 5 is the only thing I think that would have kept him in this game. Maybe if he had slow beam sword, that could have definitely helped. We do have all these weenies. But yeah, that is going to be the game. Well played to our opponent. He did. Yeah, he had nothing at the end there that could have changed it. He had the Viola, but we could have played... If he'd played the Viola, I would have played the Roger. For sure. He also might not have had this. This might have been a draw off the Monet. We have no real way of knowing what he drew off the Monet. I don't think there was anything he could have done there. If he'd found Baby 5, he could have got another turn potentially. But it didn't work out like that. Yeah, it didn't. The Divine Departure was really good. I was really scared after that Divine Departure turn. I thought the game was just over. But once we finally stuck a big character, the strength of us being big and making him smaller really paid off. I wonder if he could have continued to sort of hard starve after that Divine Departure turn, and if he just like attacked the Shanks big with the Virgo or something, maybe. I don't know. Either way, well played to our opponent. Shame he messed up his swing on that second to last turn, but we were good for his lethal. Going into Mihawk, he's taken first, so this should be pretty tricky. We've got our bullet, which is really, really nice. Hopefully Shanks can find us, like, a Gaban or even another bullet's okay. Roger and Rayleigh are good. I think I'll keep this one. But this is going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be a tough matchup, especially with him going first. Perona, at least it's not a boat. Maybe he doesn't find the boat this game. That's the problem card, though. That one is the problem card. DD's lovely to have. Let's go with Shanks. No Gaban. No Gaban. I don't really want another Rayleigh, so I think I'll take another DD. DD's nice on both offense and defense in this matchup, especially if we find, like, the random one of Newgate, but, you know, that's kind of unlikely. I imagine we see 5-6 here, and I don't really have any counter. But he does find the boat, so we're thankfully just going to see a big swing from leader. Which is nice. Take that one. That's... okay, this is too many bricks. This is... okay, this is getting ridiculous. Come on now. Come on now. Please, just give me some 1Ks. Literally 0 1Ks. That's dreadful. This might be cooked already. We don't even play that many bricks, right? We've got like 14, I think it is. It's around there, 14, 15. We do play a few events, but like, holy. I don't know there were no 1Ks or 2Ks in that Shanks search. It was just Rayleigh or 0 cost. Really unfortunate. Presume we see Tashigi here for 5. Always a good play. Bonnie. Okay, well, we couldn't play Gaban anyway, so I guess it's no bad thing that we didn't find him. We do need to find a ramp, though. If we don't find a ramp, we're in deep shit. And I can't counter these. Okay, well, I can counter that. Give me a top deck ramp. Oh, that'll do. Thank you, God. Let's take out Perona. Just get that off the board. This is live, so we can swing 7-7, or we can leave one on open for Brad Beam. I don't think we need to because of the 0 costs. So I'm going to go 7-7. Mihawk sometimes does not have 2Ks. Okay, he did have a 2K, but we got another 3 at least. This is the Shanks turn if he has it. This is the Shanks turn. And then next turn, we've got to decide whether we want to go with Rayleigh or Roger. I think it's 8 Roger. I think it is. But Rayleigh is also really good. Yeah, there's the Shanks turn. He can rest the Bonclay. We didn't really have anything we could do with that. At least one of these swings, though, will be going into the Bonclay. I don't know if he'd choose to take out the bullet. Yeah, that's fine. Don't know if he'll take out the bullet. I would imagine he'll swing leader. And then swing into the bullet next turn. That'll be my guess, but I don't know. No, swings into bullet. Well, we're not saving it from a 9 on 6, that's for sure. And our leader is large now. I think I want to establish something that can attack this turn. Because if he doesn't have exactly 9 cost Mihawk, because he can't Lord Beppo yet. Lord Beppo is 1 turn away. This gets super hard punished by Mihawk. This is just good generically. Is this Shanks going to find us anything? Not really. He can find us 2Ks, but I might as well just keep it as a 1K. If we Roger, he basically can't swing into us, which is really solid. I'm going to go with the Roger. This is swinging at 10, so I don't think we need to do anything too crazy here. Just go 10 leader. Just deal it damage. And because we're big, I'm not worried about this Bonnie. Not worried at all. You really want to put $3 on it? I doubt it. No 9-cost Mihawk, thank God for that. Second Shanks is strong, but it's not a 9-cost Mihawk. Corona again. Very nice. There's the 9-cost Mihawk, but you can't play it now. So that is just a brick in hand now, which is good to know. What did he search off the other pro? And it was like a, oh, stop. Lawpo. Yeah, so we know he has a Lawpo and a Mihawk in hand. We're not doing anything about that. That's fine. $11 to 9. Radbeam's not online. I would kind of like to counter this. But I think these DDs are unironically going to be very important. So I'm going to take. No, it kind of defeats the point of being a big leader. But it did stop his leader swinging and it stopped the Bonnie from swinging. So it's not the worst. Tudon could be... What's it called? You know the one. Fucking... Bazinga. The Doffy event that restands. The Tudon 4K that restands. If we... We can't double DD. Which is a little annoying, because we have to have an attached Don. DD would reduce to 1. I think the 7 into 1 removes. Then this will be back at 9. We could go 14 to 9, try and remove both Shanks. I think that's not too bad. He's going to lure Beppo next turn, though, which is a big problem. It's a big problem, because he freezes our only guy. We maybe go with Roger, turn after that, but if he just starts chaining Lord Beppos, we're in deep shit. We are in deep shit. Maybe we have to play another... Maybe we play a Rayleigh here. And just try and race. I don't think Roger does a whole lot. I think we're in a lot of trouble regardless. I do. Yeah, I think we need to try and race this turn. I'm regretting attaching this Don here. It is what it is. There's not a lot I can do at it now. But the rating only 7k. There's fucking double Shanks. I think we hope he doesn't have more than one Lord Beppo. I think that's the angle. Reduces to 1. Swing 7 into it. Hope this removes. Really hope this removes. He should let it go, I think. Because Roger removes it for free anyway. So, yeah, he does. We're at 9. We're at 10. We're swinging for 10. I think 13 to 9 is good. And we can leave 1 up for Radbeam. I doubt this goes through, though. Yeah, it does have 4k, not 1k. That's pretty efficient, man. It's pretty efficient. On the bright side, though, his leader won't go to 6, because Lord Beppo, we only have 1 character, so... But he could also just play the 9-cost Mihawk now, which is potentially better. I think this game is gone. If I push life there, he can counter 1 swing. Or he can counter the leader and the Rayleigh pretty easily. Oh, Rayleigh's only 7k, which is so bad because of the Shanks. We could have technically swung like 8, 8, 10. But it still only eats like 2 events and then a life. And he just Lord Beppos the this. 7, absolutely not. We're going to have to counter that one. With my finest Shanks. So I guess he's going with the Mihawk, huh? Yeah, the Mihawk's still really good. If we take here... This can swing as well. This swings smaller than this, though. I think I'd take this one. No trigger. That's a lot of events, though. Interesting. Yeah, there's the Mihawk. Taps that. Very good. Or Rad Beam. I'm not going to 0. This can't rest. This is just never going to get to attack again. We can reduce this with DD and try and swing into it. We just have no characters on the board. We just have nothing on board. Like, maybe I'll play DD and then play Bullet to have something, but it's so weak because of this. And then Lord Beppo is live as well, because Shanks rests Bullet, Lord Beppo rests Roger. We still don't get to attack. I think we're just cooked. Because we know he has the Lord Beppo, so like if I play this Roger, I guess the only hope is that he's bricked, right? I think the only hope is that he's bricked. But if I don't Roger, I'm literally just going to die. So we have to Roger. Swing 10. And then just hope that we can, like, get a lucky lethal with Rayleigh next turn. I think, because we're just going to die. There's too much power. Double Shanks into Mihawk into Lord Beppo is just too crazy. He's going to be 8k. Like, the Rayleigh swing is terrible. It's like 8-8. He's absolutely abysmal. Yeah. And he's not at 8k at least. Because, yeah, he can't push himself there. So we have a shot. We have a shot. Not a good shot, but a shot. You should just leave all these dons open. It doesn't matter. Because he wins next turn regardless. I mean, we do just lose next turn. Because none of these can attack. It's so obnoxious. So we'll just take this. And then we have to go for the world's worst lethal. But I don't know if there was a way for me to play this differently. Because we're on bad curve. Yeah, we're on bad curve. We didn't get Gaban, which was unfortunate. His curve is just so good. His curve is just so good. We couldn't play Gaban anyway because of the Bonnie, right? Yeah. Do we have any other lethal? It's just 9-9, right? The fact that he's left 2 done up means that it's guaranteed loss. But there's nothing we can do. Let's go 9-9. Oh, it's 9-8 the fucking Shanks, dude. I'm trolling. It doesn't matter. There's no way he can't counter this anyway. Yeah, GG's. Yeah, GG's. How much more counter did he have? Yeah, he had more. He had another Screen Cosm. He had a fucking kid coming up. Yeah, GG's, man. GG's, well played. I think... Yeah. When did we lose this? It was the Shanks coming down before we had a meaningful character. The fact that he was always on the front foot. I think if we're on other curve, if we're on odds, we get to drop our, like, Rayleigh before his Shanks. Then we can either play Mr. Divine Departure Counter Gang, or we can play Mr. Aggressive Gang. And go Rayleigh into, like, a Roger or a Shanks or something. And then we're the aggressor. But when he's the aggressor, because he gets to drop this Shanks on 7, it's just kind of better than anything we can do up to this point. And we had to play defensively to remove the second Shanks, because they're just too big. Like, we're 7, but this is 9. Even if we play this, it still swings at base and gets a card, which is tough. It's tough. Because he gets those extra 3 dons a turn, he can just go, okay, it's swinging for 12. Like, give me some cards. It's a tough matchup. I do think this is one of the reasons that Roger is a little bit weak this set. So thank you for watching. Again, if you did enjoy, leave a huge like on this video. I think Roger's fine in this format. I think he's like a solid tier 2, tier 3 deck, maybe, depending on how you would separate tiers. If you have a tier 1.5, I'd give him tier 2. If you don't like 0.5s, I'd probably give him towards the bottom of tier 2, maybe top of tier 3. This is a nice deck for new players, but it is kind of expensive, because you do really want Mr. 2s. If you can't afford Mr. 2, go with Odin. None of those Odins. Go with this Odin. He is slightly worse because Mr. 2 is obviously just very good into decks like Ace, into Mihawk when they miss their shanks. Odin's good, but I do think Mr. 2 is better. But yeah, if you are giving this to a new player and they don't want to spend how much it is on Mr. 2s, I couldn't blame them. Just play this Odin. It's not really a substitute for Roger. And also, this promo Roger, you can play the Nugate. It is worse because you can go Roger Uta. You can't go Nugate Uta. But the Nugates, when attacking, Loki comes up with Divine Departure. So it's not that much worse. If you did want to make a budget build of this, I'd swap Roger to Nugate. And I'd swap Mr. 2 for Odin. But yeah, this deck's fairly simple. There are some interesting lines sometimes with Divine Departure particularly. But you are just ramping up and playing boss sponsors and hoping that that gets you there. And sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Roger, kind of luck of the draw, plays a lot in. Which is a good characteristic for his fun-loving personality. I think of the other new decks, Crocodile is probably a pretty difficult one. Just because they stun all your shit. But I personally have a much lower opinion of Crocodile than a lot of people. Some people think he's really good. I think he's solid. I think he's, again, like a solid tier 2, bottom of tier 2, top of tier 3 deck. Because he has a pretty miserable time into Ace. And I think also a pretty bad time into Emu, personally. So for that reason, I just don't think he's very... I don't know. I wouldn't be taking Crocodile to a regional. But if your locals is all new decks, Crocodile's actually really good into the new decks. So there's something to be said for that. But anyway, I think Crocodile's quite tough. Doffy, I think, very playable. There's a Doffy game in this video. I hope you enjoyed that one. What are the other new decks? Moria, I think, as long as you can get to your top end without giving them too many triggers, you are 9k. You should not be having issues with Moria. Law's bad. Jinbei, I think, can be tough as well because he's aggro. Roger has always suffered into aggro. He struggled with Rayleigh. And I think Jinbei should be the same. So he's got some difficult matchups for sure. But he's still very playable. And sometimes you just want to sort of chill out, brain off, play some ramp, and see how it goes. Either way, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.